I met Robert Zemeckis kind of in a very interesting way. I had been out of work probably for a year after the Chips show ended for me. And I got a call one night from a gentleman named Tom Carlin, who had been the music editor on Chips. And he was working on this movie, and they were looking for music and not having a lot of success. So he said, will you be interested in writing something on speculation? On spec, we say. So I said, absolutely. And he said, let me put this man on the phone. He'll tell you what he's thinking. And this guy gets on the phone and says, hi, this is Bob. I've got this scene, this guy and this girl are running through a jungle, and it's raining, and they have machetes, and the cops are shooting at them, and can you do about 3 minutes of something that would be good for that, and come see me in the morning? And so I had the beginnings of a home studio, and I started to put together this little rhythm mock-up, was up all night, got up in the morning, after maybe, 20 minutes sleep, went into a film studio, Warner Hollywood in Hollywood, and had a little cassette. And the music editor brought this man Bob in and played it for him. And he smiled and said, thank you for doing this, and left. And that was that. And then that was probably Saturday morning. Sunday night, the phone rang, and it was Michael Douglas. And he was talking to me about hiring me for Romancing the Stone. So that's how I met Bob. There were no pictures. The original demo was just from a phone call. Of course, then when I was hired to do the film, I went in, met with Bob. We spotted the film in all the conventional ways, and went off and did the film. But that was the beginning of our relationship. And it was the beginning of a relationship. It was, trying to find a way to communicate with each other, and working through all of those kinds of challenges. And then, of course, the movie came out, and it was successful. And, fortunately for me, when it came time for Back to the Future, he invited me on a second date. And we've just had our 19th now with The Walk. The difference with Robert Zemeckis is he's both, but he's got the time sequence of that in a very lovely way. He begins by, first of all, doing his work and handing you a fantastic film. And there really isn't a lot to say at that point, because he's shown you what he wants. But then he lets the composer bring something to him. He doesn't start off by saying, don't do that, do something like that. He does none of that. Even when he has temp music in the film, because they have to be showing their film to studios and all that, even that he'll say, we just put some stuff in there because we've got to make the movie play for a screen. He said, don't pay attention, don't just do what you think. Now, if you do what you think and it's not what he wants, he's very clear and decisive about that. He'll just say, I don't think this is where we want to be. It's not, there's none of that. He knows his movie, he knows the heart of his film, and he knows what he wants to say very clearly. But after 33 years, we seem to get to the answer much more quickly. He actually gets on film what it is he's wanting to communicate. And so he doesn't really have to speak to me a whole lot. He has changed my life in so many ways, and we've been doing it a long time. And I couldn't say that I can read his mind. There are some things I know he doesn't like, and that's a start. But you have to always, with Bob, not take the shortcut, not take the easy way, and risk, because that's what he's doing every time now. And what you risk is him going, I don't think so, Al. No, I don't read his mind, but I think we're kind of beginning to understand that we're seeing things in the same way, and it's almost like mind reading at some point. Absolutely right. There has been this movement, it seems, away from theme. But, you know, if you look at sound, it comes from a wave that goes up and goes down and comes back, and then it cycles. I have a feeling that we could see this cycle back. I'm already hearing it. I know I've been hired for things within the past 2 years where specifically I'm being asked to give them an identifiable theme. I haven't heard that for 10, 15 years, so maybe it's coming back. The rule of thumb used to be in television, the producer was the source of power. In film, it was always the director. And I think if you're involved in a film where the producer is kind of the big force, I think you have a potential difficulty there, because it's like driving a ship. If you have two people holding on to the wheel doing this, and you're a crew member, you know, and let's say you're trimming sails. Well, you know, are we going that way or are we going that way? And I've been on those ships, and I've been on those films where you're getting conflicting signals from a director or a producer. So I think the correct hierarchy is the director should direct, and producer interfaces with the director, director interfaces with the crew, which is the composer. About an amazing man who did an amazing thing. Very complicated story, and a tremendous range of emotions. And, you know, the intention is always the same, to musically try to help the filmmaker and support whatever they're doing. In this case, it was Robert Zemeckis. And always, if I just follow what he's done, I won't make too many mistakes. Tremendous mix. But Philippe Petit has a tremendous mix all inside the one guy. And so why wouldn't the music in the film have that also, if it's going to be about him? And it does. I am certainly in contact with what it is I'm working on and reacting and responding to it. I don't just go like that, and if there are other directions, I don't care. I'm supposed to be in communication with the film, and you could call it being a chameleon, but I prefer to just say that I'm in collaboration with the film. I'm moving with it, and it's leading, and it should lead.